Chapter 6. I'll be gone. I'm awake again. My body is heavy, and my bed feels cool, a few sizes too large. I remember being all worked up, getting ready for something or another, but here I am in my bed. Strange. Wasn't I at work? Did I lose time again? Am I really this awake this quickly? I'm up early on a weekday, feeling spry and ready for the grind. I hope I'm okay. I walk into the kitchen and pick off a few oyster mushrooms from the Myco arboretum, a decorative wooden stump that decomposes into delicious mushrooms. I gather some eggs and freshly cultured cheeses out from the half-filled refrigerator. I crack the first egg to scramble, and it bleeds out onto the skillet with a plodding thud, and then a hiss of steam. There are 2 yolks, Siamese twins, yin-yanging in fats over fire. I wasted the entire dozen of eggs, and each after the other is like this. They must be toying with the hormones again at the food farms. They do this from time to time. Water and shelter seem almost obvious compared to the whole food thing in terms of man's needs. Although just looking at all these twins gave me a strong sense of aversion to eating it. Too familial or something. In the last egg, the final yolk was malformed, even for an undeveloped creature. It was black and coagulated looking. Little frays of the black rot were penetrating into the fresh twin yolk, corrupting it. I play around with the decay with my cooking knife, examining the runoff. I hear a sigh behind me, and I nearly drop the blade on my foot. Saul? I know this voice. It's Cassandra. Her voice is concerned, as though she had been watching for some time now, confused and a little uncertain. I turn to look at her. Oh, geez, what happened to your forehead? Never mind, whatever. What are you doing here? You have to go to work, remember? She is gorgeous, slender and mildly athletic with posture like nobility. It's Cassandra back at our house, or my house, and her hair. She must have dyed it, as it's a newfound deep amber tone. I suppose her blonde hair would be really easy to dye. You know what's going to happen again if you don't go. What'll happen to us, right? Are you even awake? No, I don't. I gasp, startled. This is easily the closest I've been to having her back, and I don't even know what I did right, and especially what I could be doing wrong. Damn it, Saul, quit playing around. I know you must be joking, she states, very self-reassured, despite the, oh God, you better be joking, that follows lightly under her breath. Yeah, I was planning to get back to it. I was just trying to make some breakfast. The eggs are a little weird, though. Cool, Saul, very cool, just play along. She walks over and peers into the pan, looking at the doubled dozen of yolks burning at the bottom. How many of you were you cooking for? They look like they were once fine, not so sure about at present. Oh look, one with melanin. Make a wish. It's good luck, you know. She picks up the black twin and eats it, gnashing the gristle. She turns off the stove and comes right up to me, as casual as ever. She puts her heavenly arms around me, and I melt and distort and become amorphous in her embrace. Her mouth cracks open, right by my ear, and the pressure change pulls on the fine sensing hairs. I hear her larynx tense up, and rails of air filling up the fractal surface area of her lungs. You know you have to make that sick bastard understand. You know what will happen to me. I'll be gone. She whispers and slinks away from the embrace. She picks up several bags and struts out the door into the garage. She turns around when she closes the door and peers at me through the crack. Just like that, just like she had continued to assure me, she was gone. That sick bastard, what? Who does she think I am? A cop or something? As if I were able to deal with having one Cassandra back in my sleep, now I find that I must threaten some psychopath into an understanding to keep her around. You know, now that I think about it, I'm having difficulty remembering what I actually do. I remember film. Yes, of course, film. I'm on television or something. No, I'm the cameraman for some sitcom. No, film hasn't been used for television for decades. No, I'm a photographer. Although, I haven't seen any cameras here, aside for the ones Cassandra carried away. What's going on with me? I plod back into the bedroom and lazily start looking around. I don't know what kind of clues I expect to find in my own bedroom. I idly rifle through the contents of my dresser, and I notice the aroma of the antibacterial detergents. Some bubblegum smell that is probably marketed as spring meadow or something erroneous. After ruffling up all of the folded laundry, I then notice, on top of the dresser, a note. It's in my handwriting, and on a stationery paper from a family vacation to Africa from years and years ago. The header reads, "See the new old world." I try and remember writing it, recalling all the way back to when I still lived with my sister, when we were little. This note is a part of a letter I wrote to Cassandra back in high school. She was moving around the country figuring which university she was to attend. This was the first time she left me, the pleasant one. The one where she got homesick and came back to me. The letter was written with a sort of bittersweet sentiment, love and fear in juxtaposition. She was smart, brilliant even. It was only logical that she would venture off to make her mark. It was what I told her to do, in fact, but not what I wanted to happen. I remember barely at all writing it in my room with the blinds drawn and my intermittent radio playing. Where did I find this? I mean, last night, did I both clean out my basement filing cabinets and reignite a passionate romance that had died down to nothing? Maybe she's really into bookkeeping. I peer through the bedroom door into where her office room was and now again is, and see the high entropy state of paper clutter. Probably not really into bookkeeping. I look at the note again. If there's a clue here, it's probably this. I reread it again and again. Nothing. I examine the paper fibers through strong backlighting to ensure its authenticity. Everything's legitimate. Near the note, on top of the dresser, next to my wallet and a small collection of pocket change, was a plastic card. It was so familiar to me that I didn't even realize it was there. I had carried it every day for a few years now. I look at the name embossed into the hard plastic. The card plainly reads, Saul Robertson. I frown slightly. Saul? I mean, I heard Cassandra say it earlier, but it wasn't quite as bizarre as actually reading it. I thought my name was Saul, with a U, you know? I mean, wasn't it? You'd think I would know, but again, you'd also think my employer would know. After all, I did have to undergo an extensive background check to work at their facilities. Maybe it just looks weird because of the font or the shadowing from the embossment playing tricks with my eyes. I rub my eyes slightly and see grayscale static on my eyelids. Wait, this card was broken last week. I was looking at a rainbow. I was looking at color. I dropped the card in horror. All around me now is a nightmare, some hellish version of what was, but now without something elemental, something essential. Color. There is no color here. Everything is in grayscale. My mauve walls are dark gray. My basket weave green study walls were lighter. The off-white stationery, well, that was well accounted for, but I remember now that I wrote it in blue ink, which is currently an off black. The brown in my eyes were nearly black as well, and the fine iris texture is hard to discern. The more startling thing I noticed in the mirror were those dots I saw the other day, on the fridge door or something. They're more defined now, about a pinky finger's width in diameter, with a smooth point about a ½ inch or so out of my flesh. I impulsively reach up to feel for them again, but slowly this time. I slide my fingers upward from my eyebrows and feel the skin. Inches away, I could feel that the skin becomes startlingly tough and dry. I pull my hands away and don't dare go further. I had other problems. I should go to the tiny place and think about it. It's only a little past noon, but it's been a few long hours. Maybe I need to just think about it for a little bit. Maybe trading my sense of peace for the entire bandwidth of color for Cassandra is a good deal. And maybe I just don't realize how overvalued those things are. Color? Who cares? Compared to the miracle of sight, who cares about color? Doesn't everyone trade peace for love? How we go out of our way to make it all work, you know? I lay back into my chalk outline. I pull the do not cross tape up past my eyes and stretch towards the boundaries of the bed. There's still a little warmth in here. With my eyes closed, I focus on the black and static of color. As my arms and legs venture over to Cassandra's side of the bed, I find a small, concentrated warmth. The black slowly dulls as I hold over the heat. In the warmth, a hue becomes noticeable, and I drift away in search of it. Oh, such a sweet red.